Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.
Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Yeah, what's that mission here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, from the beautiful studios of Freedoms with an S, freedomsphoenix.com. My very, 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 very special guest, Larken Rose, is on. What do you call him? You know, patriot, whatever the heck that means. You know, an individualist, a savior, a leader. What the heck, man? How do you classify you, Larken?
Enemy of the state.
Enemy of the state. Oh, that's good. I like that. Okay. Now, as an enemy of a state, I mean, do we have to be the, when you say the state, is there a particular one or just all
enemy of any state?
Any state. Well, and what does that mean? The state. Go ahead and say, I'm going to be an enemy of the state. Well, what is that?
Being an enemy of any organization that pretends to have the right to rule. It's really more than being an enemy of the gang or the people in power or the delusional narcissists who claim to, at any given moment, be the rightful rulers. Really what I am is an enemy of the superstition that any of that is legitimate.
Where did you come to this, though? I mean, we know when you launched your persona on the internet with all your actions and so on, but there had to be, Larken wasn't battling the man at well, maybe you were. Maybe not at 6, okay? So when did you start coming to this? And, of course, your wife, was she of this mind before you got married, after you got married? What was the inception of the idea that you would oppose the state?
We were both pretty libertarian when we got married, and we kind of each nudged each other towards, accidentally nudged each other towards completely giving up statism, going from libertarian to anarchist. And it really was just a matter of wanting my own belief system to be consistent. So many people sort of cling to whatever they were brought up in and say, I'm right and you're wrong. But I actually, if something felt uncomfortable in my own head, if I felt like I don't fully understand that or there seems to be a conflict, I want to resolve it. I don't want to be arguing something that's wrong. The first priority is make sure you know what's right and then argue it. And basically, statism is always in conflict with itself. And that's actually the good news. Because this book, The Most Dangerous Superstition, and this has been 15 years in the making, this book. I intentionally wasn't writing it until I thought I could do the topic justice. But I was already talking about these things in chat rooms in 1996. I was ex-Ragnar in 1996 at AOL. And
are you Ragnar?
One of them. There are other ones.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Now, Ragnar, you're talking about the character out of Atlas Shrugged, right?
Yep, Ragnar Danishold, or how are you?
Yeah, the pirate or something, yeah.
Yep, the pirate who was stealing back from the government and giving it to the people it was stolen from.
There's one thing that I came to understand was they always talked when I was a young man in the early 90s getting exposed to libertarianism. And you kind of find out, either you're kind of libertarian-oriented or you're not. You don't try and rationalize that you should be in charge of anybody. You just don't want anybody in charge of you. You're kind of like a hobbit. I don't want to wear the ring of power. I just want to chuck it in the fires of Mordor.
Exactly.
So what happened was there was a joke, and it goes, what's the difference between an anarchist and a libertarian? And the answer is about 6 or 7 years if you're paying attention. And I knew exactly what they meant by that. And then you have the big L and the small L libertarians. What they mean by that is a big L libertarian is someone that wants to play politics. Everything would be good if I wore the ring, that kind of thing.
Yep.
And then you have the small L libertarians, like libertarianism is not about ring wearing, man.
Right.
So you kind of evolve into this, but let's get to where you are now. I mean, what is your living condition? You on the Lone Prairie, in a basement apartment in New York City? I mean, and what's your plan for the years to come?
We're in a secret anti-government bunker out in we live in the suburbs of Philadelphia in our house waiting for the bank to steal it. We don't know when they'll get around to that. We're actually going to move to an addition on my mom's house because she's getting up there in years and needs somebody around. So I'm in the process of building that. But as far as what to do, considering what's coming down the pike, because I think this collapse it's only just barely begun, and it's not just going to be economic. The people who have been trained all their life to beg to nanny state to save them aren't going to have the foggiest idea what to do when it's not there, or when it's so weak that it says, sorry, we're not doing anything for you. And I think, so we do own land up in New Hampshire with a little cabin on it. We're not residents there yet, but we're ready to run there if and when things get really, really bad. But I think that the two priorities here, for me at least, are, number one, see how many people I can get to understand and accept the principle of self-ownership, that I own me and you own you. I mean, it's a painfully simple concept. The only reason everybody doesn't grasp it is because they've gone through years and years and years of indoctrination into believing that they're the property of the collective, the state, the government, because we are the government and it's us, and it's all the bogus excuses that are made to make people accept the idea that they should be beholden to a master who calls himself a servant. Yeah, the guy who steals your stuff and bosses you around, he works for you. And all this total bunk that we were all taught growing up in school.
As we were doing the pledge.
Right. I pledge allegiance to a flag and a republic. Holy smokes! What is this? The evil empire?
Do they still do that? I don't even know. I mean,
yep. They still do, and
wow.
My new book mentions it, and it might offend a few people but they believe it's. The good news, again, is they believe the stuff, but it's only because they've been indoctrinated. They still know, as a general rule, you don't steal, you don't boss people around, you don't act like a thug, you respect other people, you spend your own money, they spend theirs. It's only in the realm of politics and this thing called authority and government that they think, well, it's okay if you rob your neighbor by way of voting for the local school board to raise property taxes or voting for this party that's going to impose this tax. It's only by way of that superstition that most people are advocating violence and theft and all that. And if they could just learn, so again, step one was see how many people I can get to understand, oh yeah, I just own me and you just own you, and it doesn't matter how many rituals and elections and other stuff happen, that's still the case, and I'm still not allowed to rob you.
Now let me ask you this: what's been your personal success with people of not necessarily philosophical bents? I mean, let's do a demographic of age. Is it easier for the young? I imagine it is, but I'm wondering, are you even capable of changing someone from a conservative, someone that's a constitutionalist, someone that's a Republican, someone that's even a libertarian, and that's, say over 50, 60 years old, and bring them around to this just agorist, voluntarist, leave me aloneist, anarchist thing? Is that even possible?
Yes. It may not be very frequent, but yes, it's possible. And in fact, it's happening in huge numbers now, way more than I expected.
Yeah, I've been kind of surprised, and I tell you what motivated them. All their money's gone. All gone. Gone. So we're going to find out more from Larken Rhodes. You guys stay right there. We'll be right back.
This is Ernest Hancock. I'm publisher of freedomsphoenix.com and the radio talk show host of Declare Your Independence. Now, I want to give you my personal endorsement of a wealthy U.S. citizen that is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He's produced a video for you. It's a real eye-opener, and I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to watch it. www.endofamerica, the numbers 1 and 7.com. endofamerica17.com. This video has the history of how we got where we are now and where we're going and why. Now, it's a lengthy video. It'll be about 20 minutes, but you need to watch this so you understand what's going to happen to this country and how you can protect your wealth and even benefit financially. Now, you go there. It's free. I want you to watch this video. You need to have this information so that you can survive the economic collapse that's coming to America. It's not if, it's when. That's End of America, the numbers 1 and 7.com. After you watch it, you'll understand why I endorse it.